So this is the mass murderer being pulled over shortly after the killings in Indiana. I think the cop knew, but his mission was to just pull him over and size him up. They arrested him a day or so later in Pennsylvania. And I think wow, look at that face. Not the dad's face, but Kohberger. I looked at that and I thought, man, the guy's guilty. The victims, 4 of them, college students, just crazy, this case. And this killer, he's about to plead guilty, right? He did it. Premeditated quadruple homicide, life in prison. The death penalty is not even being entertained at this point. It is crazy. It is outrageous. And I want to bring in the experts to find out what's really going on. Barak Lurie joins us, attorney with Lurie and Kramer, host of the Barak Lurie Show, great criminal defense attorney and more. And Jay Town, NEWSMAX legal analyst, the former U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Alabama under President Trump. Jay, first to you. Can you give us the lay of the land of this case? And it just seems totally crazy to me.
Well, I agree with you. This is an absolute travesty. This is exactly the type of case the people of Idaho envisioned when they legalized the death penalty in the state of Idaho. In just a few moments here, there was DNA on the K-bar sheath that was found at the scene. There's 12 different occasions where his phone is pinging off the towers of the crime scene prior to the night of the murders, but then his phone is curiously off in the 90 minutes surrounding the time of death of these 4 young students. Ring cameras catch his white Hyundai Elantra driving around the neighborhood 6 times prior to the 7th, which is when he stopped and he committed those murders. An eyewitness tells us that he had bushy eyebrows. A Washington State Police University Police Department officer got the bolo that there's a bushy eyebrowed guy driving a white Elantra and just ran that car and then found the registrant. He had bushy eyebrows. That gave them their lead. The FBI ran the DNA on the sheath, and that's how they got all the way through this very complex case. These families have every right to be upset, but I bet you these investigators are upset too because they put together an airtight death penalty case.
Barak Lurie, just first off, seems airtight to me, but you got a lot of experience in the defense realm and beyond. Is this a defendable case?
No, it's not a defendable case. I do think, and I agree with Jay, I think this is an airtight case. The question is not so much whether he'd be found guilty. I think there's a 99% chance that he would have been found guilty. The concern that I have is that the jury or the judge, as the case may be, may have decided not to impose the death penalty at the end anyway. So, look, I mean, you're talking about a plea bargain here. I don't know that he could have pled for any less than what he did. Because he's basically saying, just don't impose the death penalty on me, and I'll conserve, I think it's 4 consecutive life sentences that he's going to face. And you also have to consider the cost of the trial, also the emotions of the families. 2 of the families actually were happy with the plea deal, as I understand it. 2 were not. But a lot of times these families, it goes through appeal after appeal, especially on death sentence, and they end up being very frustrated with the process. At least he has no parole, as I understand it, so that's good as well. Look, I'm frustrated also. I'd like it to be but my frustration is more with the system itself, where we really should not have so many appeals when it comes to death sentence, and I think it should be executed a little bit faster than it has been. It takes decades sometimes, and that's just not right. That's the issue for me, but the fact that they had a plea bargain like they did, I'm not surprised about that for all sorts of reasons.
All right, we're not going to find out the motive. He doesn't have to say anything. He just has to say, I did it. And I respect everything you just said, Barak Lurie, except for the cost. I mean, J-Town, you know, we got the courtroom, we got the judge, we got, you know, we have all the parts. They're already paid for. Let's just do this thing.
And yeah, I agree with what Barak said. There's no guarantees in a trial. There's no guarantees that they're actually going to get the death penalty awarded to Kohberger. He's right. But in my experience, and I've tried death penalty cases, most of my adult life I spent prosecuting violent criminals. And I can tell you there's just some cases, I'm sure Barak as a defense counsel had these cases where he wanted a plea agreement and none was offered because of the type of case that it was. This is a quadruple homicide. Dead cops are another type of case. The 2 firefighters recently in Idaho, if that individual had survived, that person deserved to at least have a jury say he's not getting the death penalty or a judge. I once, Greg, had a father tell me in a death penalty case his daughter was brutally raped and murdered. He said, I hope they give him the death penalty or turn him loose. I didn't probe further, but I knew what he meant.
What happened?
No.
He gone.
He what?
He's gone. He
okay.
got the death penalty. Yeah. Yeah.
So, wait, where was I? All right, so overall, Barack Lurie. I want to show you guys something. When he comes into court and he's smiling at that lawyer, this is just after he was arrested. This isn't after they had this 6 weeks of lawyer-client relationship. This is like, I don't know, and I thought there's something really perverse about this guy and maybe probably sick. And we're not going to get the answers, and I want answers. Don't you, Barack?
No.
Barack,
I do, and I think you've got a good point.
Please go ahead. I'm emotional. You guys are the lawyers. I'm just throwing out stuff because I've never seen anything like this. You guys have, but I haven't.
Well, look, he's clearly a sick man, and so you expect a sick man to act in a sick way, and that's exactly what he's been doing. So that smile to his attorney, very awkward, very weird, very eerie, spooky, all the right adjectives there, but he's just a nut. There's something very loose with him, and he just deserves to be behind bars forever. I would prefer the death penalty as well, but like I said, it's you have to consider, and maybe not the cost so much, Greg. I think you got a good point there, but there are emotions to it, and a lot of times families think that they're going to be going and getting a death penalty right there in their hands. It takes a long time. There's a lot of appeal. It's not what they think it's going to be. All in all, for a plea bargain, which was going to be down from a death penalty, this is the next best thing.
All right. By the way, the death penalty in Idaho is a firing squad. How about that? Did you know that, Jay? It's still on the books in some states, and they have a little seat, and they strap him in, and they shoot the guy.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I had read that, and is for all the pains that we go through here in the state of Alabama to put somebody to death, all the lawsuits and the different drugs that are administered, hey, 20-cent bullet does the trick, and it's still constitutional, doesn't violate the Eighth Amendment. I wish the prosecutors in Idaho felt the same way that I think the three of us do.
Check that out, the death chamber with the sandbags on either side. Hey, real quick about Jay Town. Welcome to NEWSMAX, by the way, legal analyst. You see the Marines at Iwo Jima behind you, and they're holding a flag. I introduced you as the U.S. Attorney, former for the Northern District of Alabama. I take it you're a Marine as well?
Yes, sir. 12 years in the Marines from 96 to 2008, and proud to be one of them, Semper Fidelis.
All right. Well, that's great. Thank you. And Barack Lurie, I mean, look at that successful law career he had. Just look at his house. Look at his house. It's a palace. It is a palace.
Very with class, Greg. That's all.
Take it easy, guys. Thank you, and we'll be right back.